Woo! Oh my God, man. Do I have a big announcement for you, my friends, my 10X friends from around the world, boys and girls, raised by a single mother. Yes, that's me. Grew up with a daddy that wasn't there for him. Yeah, that's me. Super massive success after starting a career selling shoes. Yes, that is me. And a major proponent of the 10X movement. Yes, that's me, but it's also one other person. I'm so proud to announce Kevin Hart, movie star, comedian. I say his name and you know it, Kevin Hart. I invited him to be at our 10X Growth Conference. Got confirmation today that he will be there. And let me tell you why I picked him, okay? Guy comes from nothing. Used everything against him, turned it, flipped it to make him who he is today. Name is known worldwide. Tremendous energy, tremendous discipline, tremendous work ethic. Dude, Kevin Hart is a bad man. And I'm so excited to have Kevin Hart at the 2020 10X Growth Conference. See you in Vegas.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Jared Glant. I'm joined today by the lovely Natalie.
Hello, Jared. It's nice to be here.
We are doing another episode here of Young Hustlers on the Cardone Zone. This is the first episode of the new decade.
Woo!
Yeah. And, we come here every Thursday, noon East Coast Standard Time. We've been doing the show for about 7 years now. And every week we come with tips and strategies on what you can do to get where you want to go faster. The right information has the ability to give you what you want quicker, easier, and with a lot less complication. And so this year we're committed to doing the very same thing, continuing to deliver you great information. And so I have a topic, Grant. I was walking into the studio, had all my show notes prepared. I had everything laid out.
Extensive
notes. And Grant comes in and he goes, "Don't do that. You're going to talk about this. Keeping the main thing the main thing." And for us, we were just coming out of this meeting. We were sitting over here. Natalie, by the way, what's your role in Cardone Ventures? The director of?
Organizational development.
Organizational development for Cardone Ventures. And so we were sitting down talking about Cardone Ventures and the license program and GrowthCon and all the things we have on the table for 2020. And with all of those things moving around and all of these possible opportunities, it's really easy to get distracted and start running down pathways where you get lost. And so Grant was like, dude, hey, got to keep the main thing the main thing.
How are we going to keep the main thing in 2020? What will distract us from keeping the main thing the main thing?
Well, one thing that we do here all the time is we look at it like what fuse is lit. Like what thing is the closest thing up to us? Like, right, we went through this whole meeting about what's going to happen over the 2020 year, and then Grant goes, this weekend, Phoenix, San Diego, 10X West Coast tour.
Yep.
We got to get 10,000 people there. So or 10,000 people registered for it. So, we go through that big thing, but then it comes back down to like, what do we need to kill next? Like, what is the next thing that we need to do? So, we try to do some of the big picture stuff to kind of keep us focused and moving forward, but it always comes back to like,
what's tomorrow?
What's the play that we're running today?
Mm-hmm. I think that's always fascinating because in these meetings, you do think coming into 2020, we need to have this big strategic plan. We have to plan out all of Q1 and all of Q2 and what's going to happen. And people get lost in the planning process because then it just becomes overwhelming with how much organization needs to happen and how many teams need to be communicated with, instead of just saying, okay, this is great, we had this session, awesome, we're going to be on the same page about the future, but let's get going today.
And the same thing happens with people. I mean, you may be watching this show right now and you're like, I'm not an employee, I don't have a company, like I'm 22 years old and I hate the job that I'm in, and you're trying to figure out what to do this year to make sure that it's a great year. So the same thing. I That's a little.
We're young hustling.
It's
right
a
now.
little fresh, I think. That's a little fresh reach right there. So you may be like 22 years old and you don't love the situation that you're in, and you try to go, because we're talking about goals right now, like everybody's goals, New Year's, what do I do? And so you go to all the things that you want to get, and it gets so big, and it seems so detached from where you're at.
Yes, and overwhelming.
Yeah, that you don't walk it all the way back to, like, what's the next step forward that I need to take today? And so, really that's what you need to focus on right now, and not get overwhelmed in details, whether it's a company, like we just experienced this, going through big things, all these different lines of business, and it gets overwhelming, and then you got to go all the way back down to, what do we need to do today? You're trying to figure out, you're making 50 grand a year right now, and you're trying to figure out how to go to 3 million a year, and you're like, it's such a gap, like, how do I work through it? And then it's like, okay, what do I need to do today to move forward? So I don't know. I mean, I think that's probably the most important thing, is just coming back down to, that next thing that you need to do. What is it? How do you handle it? Because it can be a little bit like, because you want to have long-term vision and you want to be focused on strategy and all these things, but then how do you go through it? Like,
my natural default is organizing everything. Like, all of a sudden, my email box needs to be organized. I step into this mode where, instead of focusing on the thing that needs to be done today, it's the structure and the process for everything to be done efficiently with the team, for every hiring process to be absolutely flawless. And that prevents getting in the groove of actually just getting somebody on board and figuring out and fighting the fire once it's there. So I think there's a nice balance that goes in where you can go in between the two. But my biggest tip is stay off the inbox. Like, there's nothing positive that's going to happen by organizing your inbox. Like, so many people give tips and strategies for how to organize your inbox, or the best way to manage it. It's like, just figure it out, just manage it, but do business off of it. Don't use it as a tool for catching up on everything that you need to catch up on in life.
Well, yeah, because it can one email comes in, and then another one comes in, and then another one comes in, and you start running away with it.
Start playing a game.
And I think that, if you, the most exciting thing about this conversation for me is when you start seeing results. Like, because when you have momentum that gets created and you start moving forward, it's encouraging. Like, whether you're an organization or an individual, like, progress and these little wins along the way, they're the things that actually create the momentum that allows you to do the next thing again. And so I would say, for the people watching the show right now, like, what is that thing for you? You've hopefully already gone through, you've kind of set goals for the year 2020. Like, what is that first thing that you need to do? If you set a health goal, like, where do you start today? If you set a income goal, where do you start today? Like, what is something you can do today, no matter how big or small or seemingly insignificant it may be? Like, what can you do today? So, like, is it extra intentional time with your wife or your family? Is it or your husband? Is it coming in and doing the math and breaking down targets for activity that you need to hit today to get your big goal, and then going out and doing that just one day?
Calling the one customer.
Right.
Getting the one deal done.
You can't get to 3 million from 50,000 until you call people. And so just making the call and getting the progress moving forward. Because a lot of people, I mean, it's the second day of the year already, and they've already given up.
I almost gave up on my goal yesterday.
On the dessert goal?
Almost, yes. My goal was to not eat any sugar, and I'm not going to eat any sugar until growth gone. I'm not giving up the whole year.
Yeah.
But yesterday, I really wanted this piece of chocolate. I just sat there and I stared at it. I was like, I'm not going to eat the chocolate. I can do this for 50 days. I can absolutely do this. It
was funny because this morning I worked out in the gym with my trainer. And we walked into the gym, and I fully expected, like, when I pulled around, I was at the gym at 6:45 in the morning. Like, that's not super early, but normally there's, the parking lot is somewhat full, like, people are in there moving around. It's a gym in my community, so it's not like a public gym, like 24 Hour Fitness or something. But I walked into the gym and literally nobody was there.
What?
And I was like, this is weird. Like health and fitness is always one of the things that people put on their
top of the list, because it's something that you can actually do today, and that's interesting too.
For sure.
Big goals like making 3 million when you're at 50 grand. That to me seems like, okay, January 1, nobody knows what to do. January 2, nobody knows what to do. Health and fitness is like I can do that. All I have to do is go in the gym.
Yep.
That's it.
And the truth is, like, everything that you're going to do for your business goals or your income goals or anything like that, I mean, I think it's safe to say at some point, most everybody has either tried to do something about their health or their appearance or their fitness or their diet, or they've at least given thought to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And for those of you who've given thought to it and actually tried to do something about it, like, what you know is that what you do today will not get you the result that you're looking for. It's what you do over a period of time that will ultimately take you to the result that you're looking for. And the same thing applies with your money. And the same thing applies with business. And the same thing applies with your relationship. Like, yeah, you can say something to your husband or your wife that makes them feel good today, but what are you going to do tomorrow? And then the day after that, and then the day after that. Like, to where you build up over enough time, you've done this action or this activity to the degree that it's actually shifted. There's been a paradigm shift in the relationship and something massive has changed. But it doesn't happen because you decided today to tell your wife she looked pretty or that you appreciate her, that she's a great mom or whatever it is, right?
Well, that's interesting when it comes to keeping the main thing the main thing. Some of our actions cannot align with, you think that you're doing the right thing, but you're really not focusing on the main thing. It's like a sub thing. What is the thing that is going to make the movement on the main thing that you need to have changed for the year in order to make gains or to have some sort of change?
For sure. And so it's like for me, it's just boiling it down. That's why the second piece of the goal conversation goes to targets. So, like, you know, if there's 5 main categories, you have health and wealth and fitness and, you know, relationships and whatever, spirituality, let's just say. And you have goals for each of those, which I think is where people get to and they get to and they stop. They first of all, the big fail is they just do it once a year at the beginning of the year, right?
They write it down once.
But then they never come back to it. And so the next thing that happens after you set the goals so that you stay on track keeping the main thing, because that's actually hard.
Yes.
Like, with the distractions of life, it's actually hard to keep the main thing unless you know that the actions you're taking every day are the actions that will move you closer to the thing that you're trying to do. So you have to take the time to go back through and reverse engineer how to get what you want. Like, for me, like, if I show up and I've got like a list of everything to do that day, all the actions that I need to do that day that are going to get me closer to the big target that I want, the success rate that I have in that day, it may not be 100%, but the success rate of achieving what I was supposed to accomplish in that day goes up tenfold. I mean, 10x, like, literally, because I'm not focused on the big thing at the way end, and I'm not focused on the squirrel over here. I got the main thing, and I'm just like, okay, what do I need to do today?
Just chip away at it.
Today. What do I need? The phone call I need to make, the axe I need to swing, the ass I need to kick. Like, what is the thing that needs to happen?
Kiss.
Yeah, or kiss. It could be, right? So let's go to the phones here. I think this is gonna be interesting to get some feedback from people here. Natalie, who we got?
We've got Patrick in Texas.
Hi, Patrick.
Patrick from Texas. Welcome to Young Hustlers.
Hello, Mr. Kowalczyk. How are you doing, sir?
Kowalczyk.
Ooh.
Wrong, Jared.
Oh, I am very sorry, sir. I've been speaking with one of your all's representatives, actually. So
Yeah.
Forgive me for that.
Well, you probably know, it's not an easy last name to pronounce, but you probably know it because he's been calling you so much.
Yes, he's been calling me. I've been getting emails, text messages. It's great. I love it. I'm applying those same principles in my own business, though.
My man. Hey, so let me ask you, what are like what's the biggest goal that you have focus on for the coming year?
I would really love to meet Grant Cardone himself and just look him in the eye, give him a hug, tell him thank you for all the knowledge, the time, the inspiration. Man, I really appreciate Mr. Cardone and your all's team there, and just the knowledge to just put that out there to really make a difference in people's lives. Not just about money, but about the liberty and what money enables you to do for other people.
I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. So you're in Texas. What part of Texas are you in?
I am currently in Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Okay, so goal has been set. Meet Grant Cardone.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Patrick is in Houston, Texas right now.
Yes,
what
sir.
do you, like, you've actually taken a step towards your goal by making this phone call today, right?
Correct, yes, sir.
Okay, so what's the next step?
Well, doing everything I can to hustle and grind to get some money together to get a diamond ticket for the upcoming 10X conference.
My man, how close are you right now?
Right now, I'll just be completely honest with you, I'm pretty broke, but I've got a lot of endeavors that I'm getting into. I'm doing Lyft driving. I'm looking into some Mosquito Authority franchises here in the Pearland, Texas area. I currently sell cars, so I love selling cars. Absolutely love that. I'm with a group called the CapitalistHustler.com. We're putting together an event at the Galleria to do a Dodge Demon giveaway. We're going to be doing a concert as well. So just putting my hand into everything, constantly networking, making contacts, and just anything I can just to get out there and help other people and prosper them.
So let's just take one of those things for example. Let's take the event that you're going to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What would you like to know about it?
What's the plan today? What are you going to do today to move closer to the goal of doing that?
Well, I'm currently seeking sponsorship from different
Okay,
vendors
time out.
and
Stop right
businesses.
there. Stop right there. Okay, you're seeking sponsorship. It is it's 11:14 a.m. What have you done today to try to secure a sponsorship for your event?
I do a lot of social media posts promoting our website.
How many have you done?
Today?
Yeah.
I've done at least half a dozen. I'm still working Facebook to figure out my limits because I've been muted before, and like they shut me down for like 7 to 14 days at a time because I do so many posts and so many different groups.
Okay. So you've got some posts on Facebook. Okay. How many people engaged with those posts in any way?
Well, just being on the phone with you right now, I couldn't tell you, but I usually, I'm still building my audience just with my automotive group. I have an audience of approximately around 800,000, but I'm adding to that every day as I add groups. So.
Yeah. So how many people, if you had to guess, have engaged with one of the posts about your event? Liked, commented, anything like that. Well, just guess.
On average right now.
Take a guess.
Maybe 10 to 12, 10 to 15 right now.
Okay, have you reached out to those?
Like
Have you reached out to those 10 to 15 people directly and asked them about sponsorship yet?
I have not because I'm seeking sponsorship from businesses.
Okay, so how do you know that they don't own businesses?
I do not yet, and I
Do
need
you
to
think
follow up on that.
Do you think they know somebody in Houston that might own a business?
They probably do. I've
So
only
you just need to take it. You just need to take it down to that next level of granularity. Like you did the action, you threw out the post, people engaged with the post because they're not going to give the post on Facebook money to sponsor your event, right?
Correct.
But they reacted to it, so that means they liked it. They think it's a good idea. Maybe they want to do it. Maybe they hate it and they just wanted to make you feel good, or maybe they know somebody who'd be a good idea for, or something like that. But you need to go to the next layer down now and be like, okay, I want to reach out to these people and say, hey, thanks for acknowledging the post. Is this something that you're in a position to consider for your business? Oh, no, I'm not a business owner. Okay, great. Who do you know?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So just take like the next step down, because that's going to get you the sponsorship, which is going to get you the cash, which is going to get you the ticket, which is going to get you to meet Grant.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, and that will happen.
Let's go. So let's do this. We're going to end the call right now. I want you to go back and hit those 15 people up and figure out if you can find a deal in there.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother.
You got this, Patrick.
Thank you all. You all have a great day. God bless you.
Yeah, you too. Next caller.
Alrighty, you have Jesus in Tampa, Florida.
Jesus from Tampa. Welcome to Young Hustlers.
What's up, fellas? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, what's going on?
Not much, man. I just wanted to give you guys a quick holler, brother. You guys have helped me out a lot, man. You guys have, anytime business is slow or sales are down, I crank you guys on, man. All of a sudden, I get a 300% increase, man. It's like magic.
Yeah.
Boom.
And you know what it is? It's the energy, brother. It's the energy that's transferred through your books, through your podcast, through your videos on YouTube. And I just wanted to say thank you, man. I was at my job 10 years. I was a car salesman on and off different dealerships. Quit my job, started my own business. And anytime I got slow, anytime I needed a little kick in the butt, I would just go ahead and crank you guys on, man. And all of a sudden, I'm shaking, I'm baking, I'm hiring guys, I'm selling services, and I'm rocking and rolling, man. So
Boom.
Thanks to you and Grant, bro. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man, I love that. Hey, Jesus, what's your big goal for 2020?
My big goal for 2020 is to automate one crew. I have a pressure washing business. Automate one crew and have them produce $150,000 in revenue on their own without having me show up to guide them on what to do.
Love that. So let me ask you a question. You're in Tampa. It's noon. What have you done today to move closer towards that goal?
So today I got up at 4:30 in the morning. I got my spirit right. I did my meditation, did my workout. went ahead and got my supplies, got my crew, and I'm working at a job right now that probably going to make me a little, small little G wage. Probably going to do it in about 2 to 3 hours with the help of my 2 guys.
Yeah. So how does that? How is that going to move you closer to your goal of recruiting a team of people? Like, what's it going to take for you to get your team, a team of people doing that business without you having to be there?
So what it's going to take for me is so I can instruct these guys on how to do the work the way I want to do the work, be meticulous with attention to detail, learn how to talk to the customer. So I'm training these guys so that they can be on their own at one point.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. Jesus, what did that look like for you today? So you have a job today, or you did a job today?
No, I'm currently at a job right now as we speak.
Okay, what are you doing right now? Have you started working or no?
Yeah, we started working.
Okay, so what did you do when you started the shift or the job that's going to make sure that the guys that you're doing the job with understand that your intention is that they know how to do this on their own? And what have you done so far today that made a big enough impact that they're going to be like, I'll never forget how to do this, and Jesus has my back and he wants me to have opportunity to do more here?
So what I've done, basically what I've done is I've been leading the way. I do the work. I'm doing the detail work. I'm showing them as I'm doing it. Hey, listen, this has got to be this way. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because our customers are picky, and when you're on your own, you got to be able to keep up that high level of quality, so that I don't have to keep coming over here and checking on you guys. I don't want to be up your butt, checking on you guys all the time. So please make sure you do the things this way. So they're doing them, and then I'm letting them do it themselves. For example, we're putting sand in pavers. I show them how to do it, and then I let them go ahead and roll with it and give them a little responsibility, and then check over their work. And today I have them how to correct many things so they're actually advancing. And I remind them every day, hey, listen, guys, I want you guys to be on your own. I want you guys to be motivated. I want you guys to have opportunity. I want to pay you X amount of dollars, motivate them with money. I want you guys to do X amount of dollars per week, motivate them with a bonus. I supply them with chips. I supply them with lunch on Friday. I want to keep them fired up. I want them to love me. I want them to keep loyal to me. And I want to treat them with the respect they deserve, man, and show them how to do, again, just my biggest thing is I don't want you guys to be fast. I don't want you guys to be slow. I want you guys to do this quality. We're charging quality dollars. Please make sure we're delivering quality service, and you guys to be on your own. And I don't have to worry about you guys anymore. No more boss man, man.
Dude, that sounds like you got to button it. You got it buttoned up. What I want to make sure that you're doing is that you're packaging that so that each and every day you have something that's replicatable that you're doing with your people. How you're telling them what needs to be done, how you're showing them how to do it, how you're coming back to inspect what they're doing to make sure that they're doing it the way that you wanted it to happen, right? And then what you're doing to continue to engage them and motivate them to want to learn more, do more, be more within your organization.
Right. So the only thing that I can think of right now that I could do to improve as far as that goes is actually have a handbook, have a manual, which I don't have, for them to reference while I'm not here.
Love that. Or to go to prep for a job that you're doing, or to review, or to study, or to enhance what they're doing on a job you're currently on that, maybe it's not a quick job. Maybe it's a 2-week or 3-week job,
But you know what you could also do, you could be creative with it. When you teach them how to do something, if you're not the best at creating process yourself, what you can do is you can say, this is what I do, walk them through the process, and then have them send you what they learned in a step-by-step format, and you can create that template from that email exchange, and then you can use that to train all the other people going forward. So it's not adding work to you, it's making sure that they have clarity on what you're asking them to do, and then it sets up a training process for future hires so that you can not just have one shop like this, you can have 5 shops, you can have 10 shops. Mm-hmm.
And when people like regurgitate the information, when people come back at you and you said, this is exactly what I want you to do, these are the steps of the process, now tell me what I just told you. Mm-hmm. And when you can get people to, they say that the best way to learn is to be able to teach, mm-hmm. right? Like you should be, if you truly understand something, then you should be able to teach it.
Yes.
So then maybe you go out there and then you bring another guy into the job that's new, and you have one of the existing people that you taught how to do the thing, and you have the little write-up on how to do the thing. Mm-hmm. You have them teach somebody else how to do it. Mm-hmm. and then you watch the interaction and you watch how the work's done, and then that way you're replicating yourself through somebody else.
And you're actually able to help the existing team member see the opportunity to make more money, because then they're sharing their skills with new people that will allow you to grow and scale. So it's having that goals conversation with them to say, hey, if you learn how to do this, I know you're the first one. I'm actually, technically, you're the first one right now. If you learn how to duplicate what I do, and then you then duplicate other people, multiple people, you can have the opportunity to move forward with whatever the goals are that they've specifically stated with you.
2020,
Beautiful. I
get
love
that
it.
money, bro. 2020,
Yeah.
get that money.
2020.
All right, man. Thank you for the call. Appreciate you watching. I wish you the best year.
You got one more.
One more. Let's go. One more.
You got Brian in Santa Rosa, California.
Brian
Hello,
in
Brian.
Santa Rosa. You got
Hi.
JG and you got Natalie here. Welcome to
I don't
Young
have a cool
Hustlers.
nickname like you. You get JG and I get Natalie.
Nat Attack.
Nice, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah. Hey, Jared. Thank you for having me on, and I really appreciate you and Grant Cardone. You guys have been awesome. He's been teaching me a lot of information that I think is honestly really hard to find, and it's very it's specific, it's detailed, and it's real. It's
That's
it's
awesome. What do
something
you do?
that,
What do you do
is
for work,
common,
Brian?
You know? Right now, I'm a personal trainer. I'm a personal trainer at Crunch Fitness in Santa Rosa. Just started it, so it's pretty. It's like in comparison to some of the other gyms in in our location, it's probably like the second choice for a lot of people, a lot of the population here. So I just started there. I've been booking orientations, and I like what you're saying about the reverse engineering. So if I had like a goal, right? So because Grant Cardone says, set some of these goals. So like if I had a goal for like $1 million, I know that's probably not going to happen this year at that job, because I mean the salaries and the wages are not enough. But I had a question in regards to how maybe I can go in like towards progressing and scaling, because in personal training you have to get your own clientele as well. It's the same, similar to car sales too, because I used to do car sales too at BMW and Volkswagen. And I know Grant Cardone talks about that. He was like, I was 25, didn't have anything, I was broke, I was in debt. And I was like, man, that's crazy how you got addicted to drugs. But yeah, you guys provide such genuine information. So I just have like a lot of, I'm just thinking.
Well, here, let me just tell you this. The most important thing that you have on a daily basis is confidence in what you need to get done. Like exactly what we're talking about. You want to make $1 million a year, like you can't get to $1 million without going through 100,000, right? So what I would do is it in that Crunch Fitness location that you're in right now, do you know the trainer that makes the most money?
Yeah, his name is probably, actually I'm not sure who it is.
Okay, you have somebody in your mind. What's their name?
Tyler.
Tyler, okay. How much money do you think Tyler made last year?
That's a good question, but I think maybe, 20 to 30,000.
A month?
No, not a month. I mean, if we're talking monthly, 20 to 30,000, then that's a lot. Okay, no, I think it's like yearly personal training salary. The ceiling for that is, you could probably scale it with more online.
Let me ask you this: what's your salary?
Right now, I'm probably around that, like 25 to 30.
So your salary is $25,000 a year.
Okay.
Do you get compensation or bonus based on selling personal training?
Yeah. So there's supplements that we can sell in store. There's also there's orientations that you can do.
Do you get paid? So like the $25,000. Is that what you get paid to show up and work with people, or do you get that to show up and then when you sell training packages to people, they pay you more?
Yeah, that they would pay you more. You could probably scale it all the way to maybe like 35 to 40,000 once you get more certifications, because then your pay scale increases maybe by $4 to $8 per hour. But right now it's like a regular wage of 12 an hour. Then it's when you're training a client, it can go anywhere from 20 to up to like $28 to $30 an hour, depending on your certifications.
Yeah, so you can almost triple your income as long as you're training somebody, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
then what
that's
you
right.
need to, the first thing you need to do, because I don't, is you need to get full confidence in your compensation plan, because it sounds like you don't really understand how all the money comes from or where it works. That's just the impression that I'm getting. That could be totally wrong. But what you need to do is you need to figure out, if you were booked training 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, you'd be making $30 an hour, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that would get you to 8 times 30 is 240 times 5 equals that times 4. That's $4,800 a month.
Okay, that's a pretty good start.
So that's like almost $60K a year.
Okay. That's
So that's 57,600, right? That you're almost at 60K. So let's have that as the first target. Now, you're obviously not there yet. So what you need to do now is you need to figure out the activity that it takes for you to get one client. You need
okay,
to
so right now,
you need to
the
figure
activity is like around 1 hour. So we do a 1 hour orientation, and depending on if my sales is good enough, which I've been learning from Grant, you guys are, I mean, that guy's ingenious, man. He literally, I've been using his tactics and his sales skills. Like, even the general manager was like, whoa, like, I didn't expect that to happen.
Good,
Like,
good.
whoa,
That's
like,
great.
like,
So you got the
like,
right
what?
teacher. Now what you need to do is you need to get confidence with what lever you need to pull every day when you walk in. So what you need to pay attention to now is, if an orientation is being set up for you, then you need to count your close rate on orientations. If you are responsible for creating the orientation, then you need to figure out how many calls it takes to get somebody to set an appointment, and then how many appointments you need to set to get somebody to actually show up. And then once somebody shows up, what percentage of those people you actually close. All of those
so
numbers,
right now,
all of those
40
numbers are the,
calls.
dude, you've been doing this for 2 weeks, right?
Been doing it for 2 weeks. So far, it's
Yeah.
40 calls to show up, and then it takes about an hour to close one, but the percentage is low. It's like 10% right now.
Yeah, so that's
10%.
just going to get better
So
as you
1%.
get better, right? So so that'll improve. So what you need to do now is, if you know it takes 40 calls to get one orientation, right? Is that what you said, or 40 calls to get one deal?
Yeah, that's correct. That's 40 calls to get one orientation, or no, that actually one deal to get one client. Yes.
Okay, and then so how many orientations do you need to do to get somebody to say yes?
That's a good question. Probably like, well, I just need to do like one orientation, but I just have to be better when I communicate to the client.
Yeah. But how many, in the 2 weeks that you've worked there, how many customers have you signed up?
I've signed up like 2 clients so far, and then I've had like.
So time out. So you've signed 2 clients in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay. How many orientations in those 2 weeks have you done?
Well, I've done like 5 practice ones, maybe around like 15 total.
Okay, so 15 total. So your close rate's about 15%.
Oh, okay, I thought it was 10.
Okay, so your close rate's about 15%. So now what you need to do is you need to figure out, if you get 2 deals from 15 orientations, then you need to figure out what it took to get the 15 orientations.
That took presentations, hours, and then just.
No. Listen. Did these orientations? Did they show up to the gym and say, "Hey, I'm interested in an orientation," or did you do?
I had to offer the orientation to them. I was like, "Hey, my name is Brian. You guys are entitled to a free 1 hour orientation at your choice, Monday through Friday. I'm going to be here from 5
And so
a.m.
is
until
this
1
this is
o'clock.
happening? This is happening over the phone?
Yeah, over the phone. If I left a voicemail or in
okay,
person,
time out. Okay, this is happening over the phone. Are you calling a database of people that they have?
Yeah, so we have a
Okay, that's good. That's it. That's all I'm looking for right now. So you're making phone calls from an existing database.
Yes.
And how many calls do you have for those 15 orientations to the existing customer database? How many phone calls did you need to make to get those 15 orientations?
Well, maybe around 8 of them were from not the calls. Those are just walk-ins. So maybe total like 40 to 50 phone calls.
Okay, so let's call it 50 phone calls, but then you just added something else in there. You added walk-ins. So now how many people have to walk in for you to get half of the orientations for you to get the other deal? So I'm trying to walk you down through all of this so that you guys can see how important each of these numbers are and where you need to go. Because now, if I can narrow it down to Brian needs to make 50 phone calls to the existing customer database, and he has to see 30 customers that walk in, and from that, so that's 80 total contacts. Those 80 contacts are going to result in 15 orientations that are going to result in 2 customers. Those customers are going to come weekly or monthly?
Those customers should come in weekly, like as in they sign up as like deals or clients?
Yeah, so they sign up for like, do they come every day, every other day?
Yeah, members come in every single day. Sometimes we get 600 to 800 members walking in through the door.
Okay, so when somebody signs up for your training, do they do like a 1 day a week package, a 2 day a week package, or do they just buy a package of days?
Yesterday I signed someone up for 1 day a week. I signed someone up for a holiday deal, which is limited time, probably maybe a couple more days. But we have 1 day a week, 2 days a week, 3 days a week.
So let's say this. Let's just go bare bones minimum. You sell somebody and they get 1 day of training per week. Now, in reality, there's going to be customers that want to come in 2 days a week or 3 days a week or maybe even 4 or 5 days a week, right? But let's just go all the way down to the most conservative number possible of 1 visit per week. Now, if there's 10 hours in a workday, you take an hour for lunch, let's just say, so you got 9 hours of workday. You have 9 open slots to train people, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so 9 open slots times 5 days a week is 45 clients is what you can manage if people are coming once a week.
Okay. That's really good.
So if you get a full book of 45 clients, you're working. Wait, is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, nine clients a day, 5 days a week.
Yes.
And then they're going to come next week, and you're going to do it over again. So you got to get to 45 customers that are paying you weekly before you either run out of hours in the day to train, or you have to add another day. You have to work 6 days, right? If you decide you want to work 6 days, then you're going to pick up another 9 customers, so you can do 54 customers a week. So now we know that it takes 80 contacts to get 2 customers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's go. So 40. It's 40 per customer. So 54 times 40. You have to make 2,160 contacts, mixed between phones and walk-ins.
Emails and walk-ins.
Yeah. So you got to make 2,000 contacts out, either to new customers or follow-up customers or whatever the case may be. I'm guessing that you're going to have to make multiple contacts to a customer, so then that's going to change that number. If you have to make 5 contacts, or let's just call it 10 contacts on average to a customer before they say yes, then you're at, if you just apply the 10x rule, 2,100 contacts times the 10x rule means you're going to have to make 20,000 contacts. Now you need to know how many contacts you have to make in a day, right? How many contacts you have to make in an hour to get the goal of having 54 clients that are active with you training weekly. Then now what you need to do is you need to start charging more money.
Yes.
So then you're going to go from $40 an hour training to $50 or $60 an hour training, and then you're going to be like, well, I got to figure out how to get closer to $1 million, and this Crunch Fitness thing ain't going to work out. I know how to get customers now. Then you start your own thing. Then you charge $70 and you keep all of it. Like, that's the progression of this if you want to roll with personal training.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Thank you, because I didn't really understand how I was going to get to that point, because I just knew it wasn't scalable there. Okay. So Jared,
yeah, but you have an opportunity to learn right now. Like, the only 2 reasons you should work somewhere is number 1, because you're making money, or number 2, because you're learning. And right now you're learning. You've been there for 2 weeks. You're learning a new deal. You're learning how to get customers. You're learning how to sell customers. You're learning the problems customers have. You're doing all that on somebody else's dime. So you're in the right spot, but you just have to have the right intention and keep the main thing, which is, what do I need to do today to get me closer to $1 million? And in order to do that, you need to master the training game. And in order to get clients, you have to master the sales game. So you got to bring it all the way back down, just like I did, to what is the main thing? What is the score that I need to make today that's going to get me closer to where I want to go?
Yeah, making the phone calls, right? And then getting the orientation for the clients in. And
Let's
then
go.
focusing on one package.
Dude, then what are you doing on the phone with us, bro?
Exactly.
Go call somebody, man. Hey, dude, Brian, I appreciate your call.
You guys are great. You know?
I appreciate your call, bro. I appreciate your call. Get off right now. Go call somebody. Sell them a freaking training
Unless you're
membership.
gonna sell one of us right now.
Yeah.
Let's hear it. Let's hear the pitch.
Oh, yeah? Let's see. Okay, well, what are you guys trying to do? You guys trying to
Bulk
gain
up.
weight?
I need to add some muscle to this frame.
Okay, you need to add some muscle. How much do you want to add? How many pounds?
Tons.
Okay, so can you give me a number? 5, 10, 15 pounds, 20 pounds?
I'm thinking like 17 and a half.
17 and a half pounds. Okay. All right. Well, first we're gonna need to look at your body fat percentage. We're gonna also take your body mass index, so you know where you lie on that scale. We're also gonna take your height, just so you know these measurements. This is what we need to know, so then you can start losing.
Yeah. How much is this gonna cost?
Muscle mass.
How much is all this gonna cost?
That's a lovely question. I'm so happy that you asked that. So we're gonna make sure that we go over some of these training options for you, so then you know what you can choose that works best for you. And
Yeah, but what does the average customer that's doing training with you pay?
The average customer, well, it really depends. It depends on what works best for them. So
give me a number.
It can vary.
I want 17 and a half pounds of muscle. What's this gonna cost me?
Okay, great question. So the number may be, well, since I just started, realistically, it's
don't say you just started.
350.
Nobody wants to do anything with anybody that just started.
Don't
Dude, you got to tell them the price up front.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a guy actually come in the other day. He was saying the same thing. He's like, yeah, well, how much does this cost? And I was like, because I still was trying to remember all the prices. And then I gave him the correct prices, but he was like, what did he say to me? He's like, he's like, okay, well, maybe we can schedule the meeting not this week, but next week. So I was like, all right, that's great. So don't say I just started.
Tell me how much it costs.
Yeah,
how much
dude,
does it cost?
and let people know. Just be like, if you're going to spend some time trying to figure out what she wants, you say, hey, are you looking to lose weight? Are you looking to put on muscle? She goes, I want to put on some muscle. Tell me more about that. Why you want to put muscle on?
See, there's none right there.
Yeah, like why do you want to put up muscle on? She wants to, like, what are your goals? Like, why do you want to get?
Yeah, how long have you been wanting to make this change?
Okay,
when you fast forward and you think about like what you're going to look like and feel like when you've got that extra 17 pounds of muscle, like what does that look like for you?
Yeah, is that your wife on there, Jared? I don't know. I didn't catch her name.
No, it's Natalie. It's Brandon Dawson's girl, fiance.
Okay,
fiance.
So Natalie, if you were to show me a picture of a woman that you wanted to look like, who would that be? Like a celebrity or just like a really good friend of yours? Someone who has that ideal physique that you want to look like.
I'm trying to think of any of the Victoria's Secret models' names, but I don't know any of them.
Adriana Lima.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay, so Adriana Lina, I think that's her name. So I would just look at a picture of her realistically, and I've already done the changes on myself, so I'm confident when it comes to that. So all I would need from you is just to come and show up.
Dude, you got to get the why, bro. Let me just tell you something. Like when you're asking people questions about their fitness, you've got to figure out what the why is. Like you've got to figure out what problem they're trying to solve. Like, maybe her thing that she's trying to solve is Brandon's been working out. My husband just started working out. My fiance just started working out. He's on this keto diet doing intermittent fasting. He's lost a ton of weight. He's looking good. He's feeling good. And I feel like it's time for me to do something about it. Dude, she just told you so much about how you can get her to say yes. Because you're figuring out why she's, dude, if you don't figure out what the real reason is why somebody wants to do business with you, it will be nearly impossible to close them. This goes for any business, any company, whether it's mosquito business, whether it's construction, dental, chiropractic, if you're HVAC, compute, like, dude, if you're trying to sell anything to anybody and you don't figure out what the real problem is, and this is stuff we talk about. Like, we talk about this at 10X 360. We talk about this at our sales deep dive. We talk about this in the mentor program, which we have going on right now, where people can join and get mentored by Grant and me and Brandon and you know, some of the other folks on our team here. Like, you have to dig down to the real reason why, because the motivator, the dominant buying motive that somebody has that is creating the interest for them to answer your phone call and talk to you without hanging up on you, to stop while they're walking through the gym and listen to your spiel because of something that happened. They were home for the holidays and their uncle said, "Oh man, Jared, looks like you're packing it in a little bit." And then you're like, "Oh shit, man, I got to go do something about this."
Always that one moment.
Yeah.
So, dude, if you can figure out that thing, that'll be the trigger that gets people to say yes. So, dude, there's so much ground to cover for you. Like, the good news is you're following us. You made the move. Are you on Cardone University right now?
Yeah, so I just signed up for the new training. It's only the free one, but I went through it. I still got to go through all the courses. But yeah, I'm signed up for like the free first level.
Dude, you got to make an investment in 2020. If you want to get to $1 million, like, you need to spend every dollar you make on educating yourself. Like, we've got a ton of stuff. You could spend your money with whoever you want. I'll just tell you what worked for me. Dude, I went deep on Grant's material, Cardone U specifically. Like, I got to be mentored by Grant, like watching him, seeing the conversations, seeing his behaviors and all that kind of stuff. Like, I got to use the program. I had mentorship from him. I got to build community between the people that follow us, the people that work here, our partners. Like, I got to build community. Like, these are all the things that you need to start bringing into the fold for you to get the result that you want. That's why Cardone U should be a home run for you. You should do it today. Our mentorship program, where for 8 weeks we actually walk people step by step how to build these types of plans out. It's why you need to come to the 10X Growth Conference to get connected with people so that are like-minded.
Meet $1 million producers in your field.
For sure.
Ask them what they did. Figure out how you can spend time with them. Start doing the things that they're doing, but you're never going to meet them if you're only hanging around the producers in your existing organization that are making 50 grand a year. Like, you need to be around people who are making $1 million a year so that you can start learning from them.
Because your think starts changing once you're around different people. Like, that was a big thing for me. When I started working for Grant, I remember I was telling him this when we went to dinner for New Year's, is I remember the first time I went over to their house. And there was this house, and I just moved into LA. I didn't really know a whole lot of people, but I knew, like, when I drove down Sunset Strip for the first time, I was like, whoa, I'm driving down Sunset. Like, this is crazy. I can't believe I live in LA. And then I remember the first time I went to his house. And then I drove up to his house, and, you know, it was just kind of hidden in everything because it's bushes, and all I saw was a garage door in this really short, steep driveway. And so I pulled in, and then I went through this gate, and there was a big tennis court, and then I saw a big pool house, and then I went up these stairs and saw this massive, like, 15-foot high door, and the doors opened, and they had these two big Great Danes, and then the ceilings inside of his house were like freaking 20 feet, 25 feet tall, and he had a pool in his backyard. The pool went into the living room and then went into the bedroom and had this bridge that you went over, and you walked out, and it had a view of LA from the snow-covered mountains all the way to the ocean in Santa Monica. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude, this guy has figured it all out. And then he was out there with me, and he goes, Leonardo DiCaprio lives right there next door. He said Dr. Dre lives right there, like down behind him. And I was like, dude, like, my think changed so much. So like, what I would encourage everybody to do is this year, like, invest. Like, Grant said something on our mentor call last week. He goes, you need to continue. The only thing you need to invest in is yourself until your money starts changing. So, like, if you're making 40 grand a year, the only thing you need to spend money on right now is educating yourself and investing in yourself. And if you're broke, it needs to be a major investment of time. And then when you get money, you need to go buy things that will help you learn faster. Until your money starts changing, until you start making more money, until you go from 40 grand to 150 grand, then you have a little bit more leniency with the things that you're opening up to and you're investing in. But, like, it has to start with you. Because if Brian knew all this math, he knew how to ask the questions, he knew how to drill down with the customer, he knew how to show them the tour of the gym or present them training in a way that they would say yes to because he found out the real problem.
Yep.
He knew how to overcome the objection. If they didn't close, he knew how to follow up. If he knew all that stuff, then he'd be at capacity fast, right? He could be at capacity of a full book of clients of 54 customers in less than 12 months. And then he could get to that point and he could go, dude, I need to start my own thing. So he's thinking, how do I get to $1 million? Dude, in 2 years, you could have your own gym. Like, you could be on your way to $1 million, but you have to know the right thing to do today. And that's why it's important not to get distracted with all these things that are moving around.
What's the theme of the episode?
Keep the main thing the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. Don't get caught up in bullshit that's going on outside with your family or your friends. Like, if you want to make it and you're not where you're at right now, you need to freaking go all in. It's exactly what I did. It's exactly, I'm sure, what you did. Like, you can't get that big score that you want until you go all in on something and you learn everything about it and you're committed to growing and developing it. Or
just don't say that you want to have $1 million if you're not actually interested in having $1 million.
Yeah, because it's not a real goal.
And your confidence in yourself will just continue to decrease. Say, I want to make 50 grand this year.
Yeah.
And then do that thing. Don't say $1 million, but then have no idea and become overwhelmed as to
the math that we worked out for Brian. If he goes full capacity, he makes $4,800 a month. Okay.
And that's not even with the nutrition.
Right. How long are you going to stay at $4,800 a month with $1 million a year target before you're like, oh, gotta go?
Yep.
Like, you have to be willing to do those things. And so if it's you want to lose weight, how many times are you going to say, I need to lose weight and I need to be healthy, before you eat right, you cut out drinking, you get a trainer, you go to the gym every day? Like, how long? Like, eventually you have to say, okay, I'm going to give up something in order to get what I want. So keep an eye out for those things. Like, if you're writing down goals and they seem so far away, number one, focus on the main thing. Number two, figure out what you need to give up today in order to get the thing that you want. Your sex doesn't matter, your age doesn't matter, like literally nothing matters right now except what you need to do today that is going to get you closer to your goal.
And my biggest piece of advice would just be to spend time around people who have done it. Like, that is the game changer. Find people in your community, find people even online. That's probably the fastest way to do it.
Yep.
Surround yourself with this content. Surround yourself with Grant's content. You don't even have to be in person in order to have this change your life. You just have to be willing and able to commit and show up and learn from this type of dialogue.
Yeah. So I think that was good.
I think it was good too.
Yeah.
Keep the main thing the main thing.
Keep the main thing the main thing.
What main thing are you keeping this year?
The main
What's
thing,
your main thing?
The main thing I'm like laser focused on an income target.
Okay.
And so for me, the main thing is backed all the way down to what do I need to do today to get licenses going,
Okay.
to get Cardone training going, to get our automotive division going, to get advertising going, to get Cardone University, a webinar funnel set up for Cardone University for individuals, so that line gets going. So I haven't broken it all down yet, just to be truthfully 100% honest. I spent time figuring out what the business needs to do to get me where I want to go, and now I need to work through all of the little things that get me where I want to go. Like, this doesn't happen in 20 minutes scribbling some things down on a sheet of paper.
No.
Like, this is a methodically planned out, systemized attack on your targets and your goals. And so, again, take the time to figure out what you want, how much it's going to cost, how much you need to sell to get there, how many activities you need to take to make the money to fund everything, whether that's phone calls, emails, personal visits, text messages, deals, close rates, phone calls. Like, you got to back everything down so that you know on a daily basis, oh, that's easy. For me to hit the license target, we need to get 3 deals a day. For us to hit the advertising target, we need to get 7 deals a day. For us to get the Cardone University corporate target, we need to get 6 deals a day, right? Like, get down to where you know all these things. And then, like, we worked it all the way back. Todd and I were doing this, and we know we need to get to 50,000 leads a month for corporate Cardone University to hit the goal that we need. Now we need to go, man, with all those leads, we got salespeople. We need to, how many salespeople? Do we need 65 more salespeople? So now we're like, dude, we have created the vision of what we want to do, but now it's time to make it real.
Yep.
And figure out, I can't go from 0 to 65 salespeople today. Impossible. What I can do though is I can post on Instagram, guys, we're hiring. I can have Grant post something, hey, we're hiring. I can send an email out, hey, we're hiring. We can run an ad, hey, we're hiring, and we can get the process started. I'd encourage
Hey guys, we're hiring.
we're hiring.
Just so you know, we're hiring.
Yeah, go to grantcardone.com/careers and you can see the job opportunities that we have available. So like, what is the thing you guys need to do right now? We're done with the show. It's over. It's time for you to go put in the work. Put in the work.
Put it in.
What is the next thing you need to do to get closer to your goals and dreams? Be hard, be ruthless with yourself. Do not allow any excuses. You got to go all in. You've got to be hard on yourself. You've got to be harder on yourself than anybody else could be. And then you're going to start, you're 30 days from now, you're going to look back and go, wow, man, I can't believe the progress that I made. So opportunities there for you all. I hope you guys join us for the Growth Conference. It's less than 2 months away. It's 50 days away right now. Kevin Hart, Magic Johnson, Scooter Braun, Rick Ross, Marie Forleo, Brandon Dawson, Natalie Workman, Jared Glenn, Elena Cardone, Grant Cardone, Pete Vargas, Ryan Dice, John Najarian. It's happening. Brad Parscale. Like, dude, we're going. This is going to be insane, an insane event. It's like, I'm confident it's going to be the best one yet. It's going to be an amazing experience. We've got 2 more massive surprises that we may announce or we might not. Grant's leaked these a few times, but I'm not one of the leaks. I'm not going to do it here. But get connected in the stream.
Yes.
Get focused on the thing you need to do today. Score today. Kill something today. Make some progress today. Get the train out of the station, and then get that thing moving so fast you can't stop it. Right? The only people who condemn the hustle are the ones who've already given up on the hustle themselves. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
What a blessing. I've been blessed 100 times over. First of all, to do 2 things that I always wanted to do. That's play basketball, be a businessman.
Magic for 3. Yes. 3-pointer. Yes. Oh, my. Magic down the middle. Just what I thought. A hook shot at 12. Good. 2 seconds left. The Lakers take the lead on Magic Johnson's running skyhook.
I enjoy challenges, and it's a challenge tonight to see what I can do.
Basketball prepared me for the business room, no question about it. You know, if it wasn't for basketball, I don't think I could be the CEO that I am today.
An unbelievable performance by Magic Johnson.
Woo! Oh my God, man, do I have a big announcement for you, my friends, my 10X friends from around the world, boys and girls, raised by a single mother. Yes, that's me. Grew up with a daddy that wasn't there for him. Yeah, that's me. Super massive success after starting a career selling shoes. Yes, that is me. And a major proponent of the 10X movement. Yes, that's me, but it's also one other person. I'm so proud to announce Kevin Hart, movie star, comedian. I say his name and you know it, Kevin Hart. I invited him to be at our 10X Growth Conference. Got confirmation today that he will be there. And let me tell you why I picked him, okay? Guy comes from nothing. Used everything against him, turned it, flipped it to make him who he is today. Name is known worldwide. Tremendous energy, tremendous discipline, tremendous work ethic. Dude, Kevin Hart is a bad man. And I'm so excited to have Kevin Hart at the 2020 10X Growth Conference. See you in Vegas.